What's up, everyone? I'm going to talk about bonding my 4 rabbits. This is my third attempt. This time I wanted to do 24/7 bonding. 24/7 bonding is basically when you put the rabbits together and you do not separate them again. But by day 6, they were together 24/7. Since this isn't my first attempt at quad bonding these particular rabbits, I'm going to explain briefly what I've done before that paved the way for me to do quad bonding again this time. So since 2022, I've had the rabbit pairs in side-by-side pens where they can see and smell each other. I also like to switch the rabbits from one pen to the other, and since I bonded them into trios in 2023, I also switch up the pairs, and sometimes I'll have a trio on one side and a single on the other side for a few hours. The important thing for me was just to keep Beatrix and Benedict, the black one and the white one, separate, because they're the ones who don't get along. And I've been doing all of this switching continuously for 2 years now. All of these strategies with the pens, though, are actually considered pre-bonding because the rabbits who don't get along are still being separated. In terms of bonding strategies, when the rabbits will actually meet each other, we have the smush. This is where you place the rabbits side by side and pet them so they will associate warm, fuzzy feelings with the rabbits next to them, and your hand should be near to stop them from biting each other. There's also carrier bonding, when you place the rabbits in a carrier or a basket and move them around to mildly stress them out. Instead of fighting, they will cuddle together for comfort. And my rabbits now no longer fight when they're in the carrier. Small or microspace bonding is when you start with a small neutral area and gradually increase the space. I like to do the smush with them in that space, then I gradually take my hands away to see if they'll fight. If they fight, break it up. If they're okay, add some hay. If they can go for a while without fighting, then I'll increase the area, eventually add a litter, and keep gradually increasing the space. However, small space bonding is not something I did this time. It was very effective when I was bonding pairs and trios, but it was always where I got stuck with quad bonding because Beatrix and Benedict just hated each other so much they would not calm down and stop fighting. So I did a lot of research and asking around on forums, and this time I decided to do big space bonding. This is when you start in a large neutral space where the rabbits can run away from each other if they feel threatened, and this worked a lot better for my particular rabbits. I put one of their old litters that they don't use anymore in the big pen, but I would still feed them hay and pellets in the center of the pen for the first few days because they might get territorial if I put hay in the litter. Eventually, I added a neutral hay bag over the litter and they didn't get territorial, so that's good. In the big space, I started out being in the pen with the rabbits so I could be close enough to break up any fights. Eventually, I would sit outside the pen and then I would start to leave the room briefly and then leave for longer and longer periods. Now, up to day 5, even though the buns spend most of the day together, I still return them to their separate pens at night. But I got a feeling that they could overnight together because they weren't fighting anymore. Beatrix would still try to nip or mount the others, but then the others would just run away and there was no actual fighting. So by day 6, the buns were together 24/7, and I added one of their normal hay bags to the bonding pen because I had this idea of slowly adding things from their normal space to their bonding pen to see if they would get territorial. They were okay with the hay bag, so I cleaned and added 2 of their normal litters. They have 4 of them, and they were surprisingly also okay with the litters. On day 7, we had a breakthrough. Here you see Beatrix and Benedict. They are the reason why I have 2 trios and not a quad. Everyone can get along except for these 2, but here they are on day 7, choosing to chill next to each other instead of me smushing them together. On day 8, I cleaned and added some rugs from their original space to the bonding pen. I don't have a lot of footage from days 7 and 8 because I was down the hall cleaning their original space. Day 9, I moved the rabbits back into a corner of their original room. I already cleaned and scrubbed the room, but I'm sure it still retains some of their scent. To set up their corner, I used the same cardboard mats and white barriers from the bonding pen, hoping that the scent will remind them of how chill they can be together, like when they were in the bonding room. And so far, so good. Day 10, I opened up the corner. They now have a third of the room, and I think they're pretty much bonded. I can expand this space a little more to take up half the room. I need to clean their other mats, add some cushions and hidey boxes, but yeah, that's about it. The other half of this room looks like a disaster right now, so I don't want to give them the whole room just yet, but once everything is cleaned and put away, the whole space is going to be theirs. So that is my quad bonding experience in a nutshell. I hope you found something in this video helpful. If you have questions or would like me to talk more in depth about something, feel free to comment or send me a message.